Thanks for tuning into the channel today. And what I'm going to be talking about is the Cybertruck, the all-new Cybertruck and Turo. Should you get a Cybertruck? Should you put it on Turo? Are you going to make money? A lot of questions, and I want to go ahead, do some research. So we're going to go on AutoTrader. We're going to go on Turo. We're going to see how many are listed in the area that I live in. I'm going to bring all this to you. But before I get into it, I'm going to ask for a big favor. If you're rocking with me, smash the like button, leave some comments down below, and subscribe to the channel. And if I get a ton of likes, let's say 1,000 likes, and you leave comments down below that you like me to make a video of me booking a Cybertruck on Turo and doing a review of the process, doing a review on the truck, let me know. If we get 1,000 likes, I will rent one. I'll do that video. But let's get into it. Now, for all those that are currently a host or thinking about becoming a host, I did put in the description below all the links of everything that I use for Turo to make my life easier and the card that I use for my business. So if you have an LLC or you're thinking about creating one, I use the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. It's been a great card for me, so I put that in the description. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. We want to know about the Cybertruck. We want to know, does it make money? So let's find out. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And here we are. So hopefully you can see everything well. I already put Orlando. You might be wondering, why did you put, the month of June if we're in May? The reason I did June and not May, you're more like the hosts that own these trucks are more likely to have bookings in May. And I want to see everything available in the area that I live in. Now, I understand that there are people that have bookings and, far out like June, July, and so on, but that's less likely. So if I put June, I'm more likely to see everything or more Cybertrucks than if I would have just stuck to May. So now I know in the area that I live in, there's 7 of them. And I'm not going to lie to you. When the Cybertruck first came out, I thought it was the ugliest thing ever. Finally, I saw one on the road. It caught me by surprise. I didn't expect it. Something completely different. And then I saw a few more. And then I started thinking that they're nice and cool and interesting. And it's something different. And I like that now. I like, I'm so used to seeing the cars I've been seeing basically all my life. And now I'm seeing something completely different, a huge 180. And it catches my eye. I'm not going to lie. And I think they're cool. And I would definitely rock one. So I did go on Turo earlier on to see how many there were. In the beginning of the year, there weren't many. I saw 1, then went to 3. Now we're all the way to 7. So I could see that there's more and more and more available. And I think that's also hurting the price on them. Because if you wanted one, when they first came out, they were going for over $200,000. Some were even at $250,000. And I think there's some people even saying $289,000. So you can see the price was super high. And that was, the excitement of it. If you wanted one and you had the money, some people were paying these outrageous prices. Now that's died down a little bit because now when I go on AutoTrader, I can find them all day for under $200,000. So you can say it's died down a lot. And you can find a lot of them at $129,000. You can find some of them in the mid, like $135,000 already wrapped in black and different colors. So they're definitely, I think the hype's died down. They're still popular. They're still going to catch your eye. They're still in demand. And if you're impatient, though, you got to pay these high prices right now for them. And I think, long term, that may not be the case as much. And the people that bought these from Tesla that put their orders in advance before they came out, if they got them for 60 grand, they're definitely going to make a killing on them. I mean, you can put them on Turo. You're going to make money renting them because they're so popular in the moment. Or you can flip them, right? Sell it on the road, trade it in. Now, I've heard some people saying you can't do that. Tesla doesn't allow that. But when I go on AutoTrader, I see people, private sellers, selling them in the over 130, asking for 130 or more. I see dealerships have gotten them. Those dealerships must have paid whoever owned that truck, a lot of money so for them to give up their Cybertruck. So I think the people that got them definitely made a lot of money, but you have to be careful because when it comes with cars like this, right when they first come out, they're really popular. Everyone wants them so you can make money or you can lose a lot of money because you got to time it. And it's hard to time things. And like I'm saying, the people that bought this truck at $200,000 or more, if they wanted to get out of that truck, they're going to lose a lot of money. And if you're buying it with the purpose of renting it, I'm going to assume that you're doing that to make money. If you buy it right now at 130, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I think they're going to go down even more. And you got to take that into consideration, because if you buy this car and you're renting and you're making money right now, monthly, that's great. But when you exit, meaning when you sell that truck, when you sell it to a dealership, however you get rid of it, are you still going to make money? You can easily find yourself upside down in this truck if you purchase it wrong by thousands of dollars. And that's scary. So I want everyone to take that into consideration. Now, let's see how much they're going for. Now, I went on AutoTrader, one of the websites that I like to use, and let's do it. Tesla. We're going to put model. We already know it's the Cyber. And we're going to search. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 200-mile range to get more of them to come up. There we go. And boom, you can start seeing them. They're popping up. Look at the mileage, 50 miles, 100, a little over 100 miles, 500 miles, right? Fairly new. This one has a wrap for 136,000. This one right here is 129,000. So you can see there's a lot of them for sale. You can find them at 129,000. There's actually a lot at 129,000. Can you make money so I have a loan calculator on my phone, and I'm going to write the name of the app I have. This can be really helpful, but we're going to go ahead and plug in the numbers. So here it is. And let's just use 130. Now, I know what a lot of people might be seeing. You can't get it for 130. There's taxes, there's your tag, doc stamps, dealer fee, so on and so on. I know about all that. I know if we're buying a car at $130,000, it's going to end up being a lot more because you got to do your taxes and all those things. But to make this easy, let's just say you got it out the door with everything for $130,000, right? And with interest rates being high, let's say you get it in the sixes. And to get it sixes, you're going to have good credit. But so we're using the interest rate 6.5 for 6 years at 130,000. So let's say you got good credit, you got this great deal, and you bought the truck. What's going to be your payment based on the numbers? Well, the loan calculator is letting me know the monthly payments would be $2,185.29. So that's what you have to pay every month for the truck. And that's not including insurance, okay? How much would you pay in total interest if you kept that truck for the 6 years, the life of the loan? And I know what a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not going to keep it that long. Still, your out the door number, what you're financing, everything, it does matter. Even if you're like, I'm going to get rid of it in a year, I'm going to get rid of it in 2 years, because you can end up upside down. So everything's important. Your out the door is important. Your monthly payment's important, because let's say that truck gets wrecked. You can get in an accident if you're renting it. You're got to come out of pocket every month $2,100 so you can get it back on the road. Also, if it gets in an accident, it lost value. It's going to be on the Carfax. People are not going to want to pay as much for one that's been in an accident. So there's risk. You got to calculate all these. So again, the $2,100, the interest you'll pay is $27,340. That's how much interest you're going to pay, meaning that truck, if you kept it for the 6 years, you're going to pay over $150,000. You pay $157,340.94 if you kept it for the 6 years. A lot of money. If you have it on Turo, so we saw someone at the low end right now, and this could change at any time as more people put Cybertrucks on, at $399. You also have to remember it. Some of you already know this because you're a Turo host. If you haven't done Turo, you may not be familiar with this. You're going to pick a protection plan, or at least I would hope so. If someone's out with your Cybertruck and they get in an accident, you want to have protection on it while it's out on rent. Now, most people pick the 75% plan. That's the one I have, which has a deductible of $250. But that means you're only going to get 75% of what that vehicle brings in. So if you're renting it at $400, you're not making $400 a day, right? You're only going to make 75% of that. But again, let's make the numbers. Let's say you are getting the $399. Just to make the numbers easy, how many days would you have to rent that truck to make your payment and make a profit? I'm going to just say 15 days. So out of a month, in a high-end vehicle like this, if we're talking about economical cars, like the Sentras that I own, a Toyota Corolla, you can book them 20 days out of a month, sometimes even more on an economy car if you depending how you're pricing and how active you're being with your car fleet on Turo. But I'm going to just say 15 days on a high-end car, that rents out for 4. They're not likely to rent out, at least on Turo, that, 15 days out of the month. But because the Cybertruck is so popular and new, you might get a lot of bookings right now. So times 15, you're looking at $5,985. Now, I know what a lot of you might be thinking. That's great. And by me looking at it, I think that's good. If I'm paying $2,100 and I can make $6,000, but we got to take out the 25% that Turo gets. Now it brings it down to $4,488. Still not a bad number. But can I get that every month? What's going to happen in the future? So it's a lot of things that you have to think about. And this is what I do when I get a car, any car. It doesn't matter if it's a high-end car or an economy car. Now, I haven't gotten into the high-end cars to rent out. I know some people say they make a lot of money. When I do the math, I'm not always sure, at least on Turo. Now, I've heard of, there's companies out there that have private car rentals and they rent out exotics for you. I heard there's a lot of money in that. But you renting it out on Turo, I don't know if the exotics bring in as much. I don't know if you're better off just giving it to a company that will manage it for you that does private rentals. I'm not sure. I'm not in that world, but I consider the Cybertruck right now, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, it's not exotic, but with the price that it has and how everyone's hyping it up, it's like an exotic. And can you really bring in that money? Right now on Turo, I think you'll get a lot of bookings from what I'm seeing when I was on Turo, because this one has 19 trips. And now, something I always talk about, I look at the calendar, and this is what I mean by that. Right here's the calendar. So we're going to check out the calendar. Here we go. So for June, they already have bookings. That's a good sign. And you see the lines? So I see that they have a lot of trips. I'm going to look at comments. They got a comment in May. We are currently in May. So that leads me to believe they're active. So those lines, I know they can mean other things, but to me, I'm assuming that they mean that the car's booked. And you might be wondering, what other things could it mean? It could mean that the car's out of commission, that they don't want to rent it out. But I'm going to assume that it's not the case, that those are actually bookings that they have set up. And in May, let's see. Oh, in May, they have a lot of lines. So we can count. This is what I would do. I would count it to kind of get an estimate what this truck could bring in. Now, I am making an assumption that these are bookings and that the truck's not out of commission. This is how I calculate what I could potentially make on a vehicle. And I do this with my economical cars, but I would do this with any car. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Counting 19 days. 19 days at $399. Impressive. I'm impressed. Now, $399 times 19, that's $7,581 gross, right? We got to take out the 25% if they had that plan that Turo gets. They'd be making, so $5,685. I don't know what they paid for that truck. I don't know if they were one of the individuals that paid $200,000 or more, or if they were one of the individuals that ordered it in advance and maybe they got it for what the Tesla website says they go for, 60 grand. If they got it for 60 grand, they're making a killing, right? Because if they got it for 60 grand, their payments are probably $1,000. And if you're bringing in over $5,000, that's great. So that's how I do it. I count the calendar. It's not foolproof, but it's worked well for me. Gives me an idea. I check the competition. How many Cybertrucks are out there? So whatever car I'm thinking of getting, I like to check how many are in the area that I live in. What's the going rate? Because I have to compete. And this helps me out. And then I go on AutoTrader. I see, what's the car price, try to find the best deal. And I do that by, again, AutoTrader using CarMax. And this is all very important. You have to do all the math. But what I think with the Cybertruck, I think it's hot right now. I think it's popular, but I think if you don't time it correctly, I think you can lose money. I think if you time it correctly and depending on the purchase price, you can make a lot of money on it right now. So I'd love to know in the comments below what you think. Would you buy a Cybertruck? Would you rent it out? Do you think it make money? What's your opinion on it? Did you find the video helpful? Let me know as well. That helps a lot. And if you like me to rent a a Cybertruck, let me know. Smash that like button, support the channel. And thanks for watching again. And don't forget to check out the links in the description box of all the tools I use. I think it could be really helpful, especially if you're going to be new to Turo. I really appreciate it. Thanks again.